Hi Gemini, welcome to your June bonus reading. My name is Kimberly from The Path Illuminated. If you are returning, thank you so much for your support. If you're new here, welcome. This is still a relatively new channel, and I will definitely be doing monthly readings, but I felt called to do a few bonus readings for mid to late June. Gemini, we are still in your season, so I hope that you've been having a wonderful birthday season. We do have a Gemini new moon coming up this weekend on Saturday the 17th. So I think there's going to be a lot of reassessing, reconsidering how we want to move forward as the year continues, because we're already in June, which, like, I can't believe we're halfway through the year. In any event, as I mentioned, I am going to be doing a bonus reading for the Gemini Collective. This will be a general reading, so the messages may resonate, they may not. If the messages resonate, please like and subscribe. If they don't, just understand it may not be your reading. I am an energy reader and an alignment guide. I am not a psychic or a fortune teller. So what that means is that I'll be picking up on the energy for the Gemini Collective and providing insights, feedback, support, inspiration, food for thought from your higher self, guides, and the universe. But know that you are the authority in your own life. You know what's going on and you know what's best. So always trust your own intuition and guidance. And know that you have free will. So if something comes out in the reading that you're not super happy with, understand that you can always change how you deal with situations and with people. You can always shift the energy. None of this is set in stone. This is energy. Energy is fluid and constantly changing. So I'm going to pick up on what's going on for you mid to late June. And then you decide what works for you and what doesn't, and how you want to address it. All right. So I'm going to start with 5 cards, and then we'll pull some clarifiers, and then I will close it out with a Mother Earth Mandala Oracle. Thank you, angels, spirits, and guides. Please provide me with a clear and accurate reading for the Gemini Collective for mid to late June. Thank you, angels, spirits, and guides. I hope that you are having a good summer. We are in, or I guess technically moving into summer on June 21st here in the Northern Hemisphere. So I hope that you've got some fun summer plans, Gemini, and that you're using your season to get together with family and friends and being the social butterfly that I know you are. Thank you, angels, spirits, and guides. Please help me with this reading for the Gemini Collective for the rest of June. One more card, please, Spirit. All right. And then we will pull some clarifiers for these, for the overall energy. Thank you, angel, spirits, and guides. Please help me pulling clarifying cards for this message. Why is the King of Swords in reverse here, Spirit? It's too many cards. Just one. Why is the Knight of Cups here, Spirit? Why is the Three of Pentacles here? Why is the Lovers here? And why is the Ten of Swords here? All right. Got a few repeating cards. So mid to late June, Gemini, it seems to me like you're a bit unbalanced. You might have some competing priorities, and you also might be struggling with not having control and trying to maintain control. over your working environment, your communication with other people, your relationships. And I think that this has to do with a recent painful ending. 10 in the tarot are ends of cycles, so you can't go any further than a 10. And the 10 of Swords is the end to mental conflict, but it is a painful ending. So I think that mid to late June, you're really struggling with your control issues, and it's because you want to avoid a 10 of Swords. It does seem to me like you're trying to move forward, and you want to open your heart to love, to abundance, to the blessings of the universe. And you're trying to do that while holding on to something, and I'm not quite sure what that is. I think this has a lot to do with the King of Swords in reverse, Gemini. I think that you've definitely gone through some painful endings, and maybe your fear of those painful endings, your fear of death, is what is the challenge with you being open and emotionally available to others and to yourself. Although it does, the Three of Pentacles is all about collaboration with like-minded individuals, building something. So I do see you coming into a place of being surrounded by people, by friends, by community, by coworkers that are actually very supportive and want to help you build something. It's clarified by the Emperor, so I think you have an opportunity in mid to late June, Gemini, to really step into this Emperor energy. And this is, I just kind of want to compare this, right? That the King of Swords in reverse compared to the Emperor, there's like zero comparison, right? Like the Emperor is self-assured, confident, knows what they want, and they go after it. And yes, there can be, very similar to what I was saying with the King of Swords in reverse, there can be control issues with the Emperor, right? Because the Emperor knows who they are, they know what they want, and they go after it. But having control issues is a trick of the ego, Gemini. Our egos help us in so many ways. We need our egos. They're not necessarily bad. When we allow our ego to control how we move forward and work with people, that's where we get tripped up. We need the ego, but we should be using the ego. We should not be allowing our ego to use us. And our ego often will do things, put thoughts into our head, manipulate certain situations so that we feel as if we have control, because our ego believes that if it continues to control every single aspect of life, that we can avoid death and we can avoid painful endings. But you can't do that. I think it was in the Aries reading that I was talking about. There's no way that you can be open to love unless you open yourself up to being hurt, unless you're vulnerable. That is part of it. There's no life without death. There's no love without heartbreak. There's no way around it. That's just the way that life works. So mid to late June, Gemini, you are going to have a decision to make, a big decision. The Lovers is the card of Gemini. And it's not just about romance and relationships, which obviously most people would assume because it's quote unquote the Lovers. The Lovers is very much about a big decision, right? And it seems to me like you're going to struggle with that decision. Knights in the Tarot are all about action, and this Knight is in reverse, and it's the Knight of Swords. So lots of overthinking, lots of control issues, knowing that you need to make a decision, being presented with a decision that has to be made and not making one. And you don't want to make this decision because you're afraid of a painful ending, but that painful ending is still going to come, and it's probably going to come as a result of you not making a choice. Indecision is still a decision, Gemini. Standing on the sidelines, Gemini, does not stop you from being harmed. Sometimes it brings in more pain. But also, again, the Ten of Swords, while it does talk about painful endings, it also is an ending. It's an end to mental conflict. There is going to be an ending even if you don't make a decision about it. And it might come as a result of your indecision because you're afraid to move forward with an offer of love with somebody because of the past. And you think that if you continue to stay in your head, overthink situations, and you continue to try to manipulate the situation so that you get the outcome you want, you think that by doing all of those things, playing the mind games, being, what's the word I want to use? Strategic. Being overly strategic in love, it's actually not great. Being discerning is a completely different situation than being controlling of a situation. Discernment is all about being connected to your heart and your intuition. But when you, and I get this, right? Like Gemini, you are an air sign and you are a sign that is all about duality. So it seems to me like, yes, you very much want love, but you're having a hard time making the choice to move forward and to actually be open to love because you're afraid of heartbreak. But refusing to make this decision because you're afraid of how you're going to look or what's going to turn out, it's going to end up being a painful ending regardless. I'm going to pull a few more cards. Why is the Three of Pentacles and the Emperor here, Spirit? Just to go a little bit deeper and make sure that I'm not missing anything. And again, Gemini, like I was saying at the beginning of this reading, you have free will. So if this is not the way that you want to operate in your life and with the people that you want in your life, you can change that. Why is the Lovers and the Nine of Swords in reverse here, Spirit? Why is the Ten of Swords and the Knight of Cups in reverse here, Spirit? Okay, angel spirits and guides. Okay. Again, you can change how you deal with situations and people, Gemini. So you are going to be getting some support mid to late June from people that see you as the Emperor you are. But it looks to me like you're very much going to struggle with laying down this burden of having to do it all, be it all, control it all, and be in charge of everything. Again, this is the struggle of the Emperor, right? And you're going to be challenged with making a decision about whether or not to move forward with an Empress in the month of June. But it looks to me like you are not moving forward because of your fear. You're afraid of this painful ending, and so you're not having the conversation that you need to have in order to open yourself up emotionally to this Empress. It's clear that you want this. It's clear that you want love, but I don't know that you're quite ready to do the work of opening your heart and being vulnerable. Because being open to love and being vulnerable with another person requires you to let down your guard. And I understand, right? Like, we've all been through painful endings if we've lived long enough. We've all been betrayed by past relationships and friendships and family and all of that. And we can let our egos convince us that keeping our guard up, doing it all, staying in control, manipulating all of our relationships so that they turn out the way that we want to, or not doing anything, we can start to believe that that's the way forward, and it's actually not. You have to be open and vulnerable if you want love. You have to be willing to approach this Empress in the right energy. And granted, right, like the Empress and the Emperor, they're a divine pair, right? So there is somebody who is your match, but you, even though you know you need to make a decision about if you're going to move, if and how you're going to move forward with this Empress, you're not really moving forward in the way that you need to. Because you can't, I mean, the Knight of Swords in reverse is already stopped. And it's also not the right energy to approach an Empress with. I mean, you have the opportunity to manifest the 10 of Pentacles. But you're really going to have to go deeper with yourself and understand how you're holding yourself back by wanting to be in control, by thinking that you can avoid painful endings, even though you cannot. And not making a decision to move forward with this Empress is going to lead to a painful ending anyway, because you're unwilling to have the conversation that needs to be had. I'm going to pull one more card from the deck. Spirit, any additional guidance for Gemini? There's a lot of opportunity here, Gemini. But you're going to have to get real with yourself and the ways that you are sabotaging yourself and how your ego has convinced you that if you control every little thing that you're going to get what you want. It's not true, because an Empress is always going to know when you're not approaching her with the right energy. She's intuitive. She's tapped in. She knows when your heart is closed. She knows when you're not being real and honest. She knows when you're not approaching her correctly. And if you don't approach her correctly, or if you avoid making a decision and having that conversation regarding a new beginning, it is going to lead to a painful ending. It doesn't mean that you can't, right, manifest this 10 of Pentacles. It's there for you. One more card. But again, you have free will, and you decide how you're going to move forward with this. One more card, Spirit. You're going to have to embrace dying to this old way of being if you want to manifest this 10 of Pentacles with the Empress. There's no way around it. There's either going to be a death to your ego and the ways that you are trying to protect yourself and control the situation, or there's going to be a death to this situation with an Empress, and you're going to have to deal with the heartbreak from that. Either way, something's got to go, Gemini, okay? So I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to end the reading with a card from the Mother Earth Mandala Oracle. Thank you so much for being here. Please like and subscribe. All right. What messages do we have to close out this reading for the Gemini Collective? Thank you. All right. Patchwork. I'm going to read from the book. Just give me a second. Patchwork. Every piece of this patchwork is made of different patterns and color combinations in order to remind us that we do not need to all be going in the same direction to be connected. Can you picture how subjective truth can be when we all live in the very same world, but in different realities? Each point of this painting is a soul, each shape is a group, and despite their differences, they are one. All are working together for the same purpose, to create a balancing energy and spread it around a map of unity. Differences are to the world what shades are to color, an opportunity to highlight each other's vibrance, beauty, and authenticity. We are one. It's time to bring some balance into your life, Gemini. I think these people that are in your life or coming into your life to help support you are going to help you start to better assess how you're blocking yourself and how you need to start to reach out for support from others and be open to different perspectives. You're super talented, intelligent, and accomplished, Gemini, but none of us knows it all, and we all need each other. We all need love, and we all have to learn to be open and vulnerable if that's what we want to call into our life. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much, Gemini. I hope these messages resonated for you, and I will see you next time. Bye.